And the fact that this is my first time ever speaking in front of people in my life. Like, I wanted to do this for a very, very long time. And if we're going to be completely honest, I'm shaking like a salt shaker right now. And I couldn't be more excited. All right? So, my buddy Nate, Coach Hamilton here, is a good buddy of mine. And I cannot thank you enough for giving me this opportunity. The fact that I'm standing here means that dreams can come true. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't know, to y'all, if this seems like a big deal, but that I have people's undivided attention, I don't even know what to do right now. I'm being extremely honest, okay? So, I do want to talk a little bit about regret as kind of the biggest thing in a moment, because I just saw a great practice out there. I believe everyone got a little better today. Yes? No? Maybe so? Yeah? I hope so. All right, that's what I like to hear. So, a little backstory about me. I was 4, almost 5, when my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, and unfortunately she passed away when I was 12. And so when I was growing up, even from like 5-ish to 12 and a little beyond, I didn't know anyone else who knew the C word cancer. I just didn't at that time. Unfortunately now it seems like everyone has been affected by it in some way, knows someone or someone in their family or something, you know? I mean, it's very unfortunate. So with that being said, I always felt sorry for myself because I knew I wasn't the only one, but I was the only one that I knew was affected growing up. So I just always was like, pity, feel sorry for me. But I didn't say that, but by my actions and everything I was doing, it was very evident as I've gotten older and hopefully a little bit more mature. So we can fast forward a little bit to 2010. My dad found out he needed to be on dialysis to stay alive. Both kidneys were functioning at 2%. So he was about to die then. So 7 years later, a year ago, August 2017, my dad passed away. So I was very fortunate that I was able to be there with him and be there for him. And I learned a lot of things through all that. So now I'm 31 years old and I'm parentless. And I don't know what to do, but I'm finally realizing, like, through everything I've been through, we're going to go through things in life that we're not sure at the moment why me, and that's not. This sounds cliche, and I realize cliche words are probably the most important things in this world because they're actually true and everyone says them because there's a reason that they're actually true. It's not what happens to us. Sometimes it can be, I'm going to be honest, but it's not always what happens to us, it's how we respond. And as I just alluded earlier, I responded with, woe is me. That's not going to get you anywhere. You're going to be in self-pity and you're going to sit there for a while. And one of the most not interesting things, but after I saw my dad laying there, unfortunately, peacefully, I just had a moment where it clicked with me that I was responsible for not just my happiness, but if I'm going to do anything for myself, I was over 270 when my dad died. I've lost 104 pounds since December. And I'm just like, I have a photo in my, this morning I printed out a copy of it. It's in black and white, it's very bad, but I'll show you, and Coach Hamilton can attest, I've been a fat kid my whole life, I'm going to be very honest, and that's part of the self-pity. My dad was in the hospital 2 months before he passed away, and I was at my house going every night home by myself, and I would go to Quick Trip and grab 2 little brownies every night because that was my comfort. I didn't have anyone at home to do that for, didn't have any comfort, so that was my comfort all the time, and it was bad. And then 3 months after he died, I just said, enough is enough. I wasn't setting out to lose 100 pounds. My goal was to do 365 days in a row on my elliptical. And as of this morning, I've done 328. So I'm getting very close, but I'm not there. And that was the original goal, was to go from never taking care of myself to 365 days in a row on my elliptical. So we got 38 days. You best believe that I am counting down every single day. I mark it off on a calendar. So it's been awesome, 100 pounds. Once I realized I was getting to 60, 70, and I was doing the same thing every day, and it was working, it's been great. So I went from over 270, I can show you all a picture if you want. We don't have to, I don't know. I don't want to do that to you guys. But I was over 270 in August of 17, and right now I weighed yesterday, I am 164. And I need to put a little muscle in like you fellas, but I'm not quite there yet. So pardon me again, this is my first time speaking. So I just told you all that. What I did when I saw my dad laying there was I knew it was time for me to take control of my life. he used me as a crutch, I used him as a crutch. It was a two-way street. I'm not hating on that. It was what it was. I was in the moment with that. I was glad to be there, to be able to be there for him. Because if you can't be there for family, there's nothing you can do in this world. So family is very, very important. Another regret I have, hopefully y'all might kind of find this interesting, was I had an awesome job working with the Atlanta Hawks. Coach Hamilton can also attest to this. It took me 10.5 years to get through my undergraduate degree. Usually when you're in school for 10.5 years, at the end of that you're called a doctor, but not this guy. So it took me 10.5 years to get my undergrad, the 4-year degree. You guessed that, right? And I had 2 months before I graduated, and I was struggling through school forever. 2 months before that, timing is everything, I get a job working in the locker room for the Atlanta Hawks. I actually was working in the visitor locker room. So like Kobe Bryant was standing like 2 feet in front of me. It was really cool. I worked about 14, 15 games, and I was just about to graduate, and I was like, I need to go get a full-time job. Well, I haven't had a full-time job since then. My job was to take care of my dad, and I've been taking care of my health, because if you don't have health, you really also don't have anything. So one of the things I really realized recently that I want to tell you all about that job, one of the reasons I quit was the thought of, oh, I'm finally graduating college, I need to go have that full-time job. And a lot of people do need to have a full-time job. There is nothing wrong with that at all. But in my situation, taking care of my dad, I quit that prematurely. And 2 months later, and I was told, when you quit this, you're gonna want to come back. And I'm like, I don't know, I'm gonna probably start something on my own, be there for my dad. And I quit on a Sunday, and that Thursday, I called begging for my job back, and I still haven't gotten it. So the regret is real. And something else I want to say about that job was, I thought I had to go get a full-time job at that moment because I was graduating college. And like I said, a lot of people do. But you need to worry about your own journey, not what everyone else is telling you. Because you're going to go through something, I'm trying to look at every one of you, but I can't at one time. You're going to go through something that your neighbor's not going to go through, and vice versa. So y'all need to worry about what you can control, your own journey, and not let anything on the outside, worry. You can stay on the course of what you're doing, but know that there's a reason why you're going through what you're going through. And so if I could take back that and go get that job again, even though it was an $8 an hour job, and in my head I was like, no, I don't need this, I'm gonna have this college degree. That's not what it was about. And for me, I needed to be there for my dad, and to have that job would have been great. And to me, it's very unfortunate I don't have that anymore. Another thing I would like to tell y'all, almost in closing here, is do not take anything for granted. I know this may not seem like a big deal, but if we think about how long everyone's had cell phones, my mom never even had a cell phone number, all right? So to think back how far it's been, it's been a little over 20 years since my mom passed away. I wish I could call her. My dad died a year ago in August. I wish I could call him. We didn't always get along perfect, but you know what? That's family. And if I could do anything just to hear him yell at me one more time, I would do that. So I want to urge y'all, this is the beginning of the week, Saturday, early afternoon. Please, any parents, guardians, anyone, call them, talk to them, just thank them for everything they do for you. Because if I could call my parents, I would do anything to be able to call my parents. And I just want to leave you with that. One other thing I do want to say, with basketball season here now, I love basketball season. I saw y'all practice, it was really good, y'all are getting after it. Just want to remind you, every time you're able to put on that jersey and represent your school, and you wear that number, that's your number while you're here now, that you have a chance to go out and do something special. And that may not be putting up 40 points a game, that extra rebound, anything, there's a reason why you're on this team. Remember again, everything happens for a reason. So just go get that extra rebound. Get on the floor one time. Like I said, I was well overweight.